It's always such a great delight to come to your homes. This is the Upside Down Show right here on ChannelOne TV. I'm Frema Adunyame, and this is your favorite lifestyle show on TV. Today, I'm talking to one man who needs no introduction. You know, he's done it all, seen it all. And right after this break, I'll be introducing my guest to you, ladies and gentlemen, and we will have the show on. You're welcome back. This is the Upside Down Show. And today, we've been looking at a lot of things. And ladies and gentlemen, I am talking to one man who is of many parts. He is into law, into media and business. He is going to be telling us so much more about what he's been up to lately, and please help me welcome my guest for the day is Gabby Asare-Darko. Hi, Gabby.
How are we doing?
Super awesome.
Good to see you.
Great to see you too. How you doing?
Well, trying to look as good as you.
Oh, nice suit.
But,
well, I'm not surprised.
My tailor is Ghanaian, actually.
Oh, somebody did this in Ghana?
Yes.
Who is that?
It's called Paul Coco.
Wow.
That says G-O-D. Yeah, that's his name.
Okay.
Paul
Coco.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done such a great job.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I've come up with a design with him, and we call it Yapo.
Yapo.
The Ya is me, Yao.
Okay.
And he's Paul, so
Yapo.
we do our own brand of...
Oh, he does only for guys?
No, for women as well.
Well, so help me say thank you to Gabby already, so when I wear my Yapo, you would know.
When you're ready, I'll make sure I'll send him around to take your measurement.
Thank you. But how are you doing?
I'm trying to do well. I'm trying to do well.
What's been keeping you busy now?
Staying out of trouble, that's keeping me busy.
I mean, you don't put yourself in trouble, but trouble comes finding you.
Yes,
and we understand.
Yes.
But what has life been for you?
I think it's been busy, particularly with the law firm.
Right.
My wife and I came together. She was then in banking, and I was doing practice with Bedia to set up our own firm. That was about 10 years ago. This is the 11th year.
Oh, wow. Your beautiful wife.
Yes. Yes. You know I have taste, so.
Of course. Why are you telling me? Don't say so much, but how is it doing?
So we celebrated our 10th year last year.
Okay.
And we're doing well. We are a corporate law firm.
Right.
And since then, we've been able to team up with a partner in Nigeria and set up other law firms across the continent.
Oh, wow.
And also teamed up with other law firms. So now we are, Africa Legal Associates, but we are also called Africa Law Practice International.
Okay, right.
And we have so far 11 law firms across the continent.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Then you've been very busy.
We've been busy. We in Ghana, of course. We in Nigeria. We are in Cote d'Ivoire.
Okay.
Cote d'Ivoire, there was an existing law firm that we teamed up with.
Right.
We are in Namibia.
Okay.
That's a law firm that we set up from scratch. We are same with Tanzania, Uganda, same with Kenya, South Sudan, Rwanda, and we set up another one in Namibia. And then recently, I think last December, the last one that we set up from scratch as well in Angola.
Wow.
And then, of course, we have a representative office in Guyana, which is the Caribbean.
Right.
So that's really
so
what
how
we're
often
doing.
do you have to visit these firms?
For instance, I think in about 3 weeks or so, I'll be going to Zambia, where we are looking to set up another one. So nowadays, a lot of the visitations are done online. Right. But what we do is that lawyers move around. So we're establishing some sort of ecosystem where you may have an expert in oil and gas in Nigeria. Right. So when there's a case in Namibia and they are lacking in expertise, then the ones from Nigeria can go there. So there's a lot of, cross, if you like, expertise fertilization.
Right.
Is that such a word?
Of course,
Well, it works.
Of course, we understand what you mean. But the last time I met you, we were talking about something else, But quickly, let me just pick your thought on
in football.
Well, we were watching football, so we're talking Arsenal and Manchester United. It wasn't such a pleasant experience, but at least the fried yam and the wings, made up for the loss. And it was such a good one. But let me.
But we are still on top of the league, just so you know.
Well, so we're just the 4 points, ahead of 4 points ahead of Man City. We all know how it's going to end. So, no long talk. We'll see very soon. But what did you make of the 2024 election results, the defeat?
What do I make of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the results was there.
Yeah, the results was there, but it was a shocker to people.
What I've noticed over the last few years, there have been some shocking results across the world.
Right?
I mean, in the USA, I think Trump actually got less votes than he did in 2020, but the margin of victory was wider. Yeah. In the UK, Labour didn't really do well in terms of the popular vote, but the seats that they got was historic. In South Africa, we saw what happened to ANC for the first time. They lost their majority. Yeah. We saw it across, whether it's in Botswana, across the world. I think it was really this, as the Germans would call the Zeitgeist, the timing, the spirit of the moment. Exactly. So I think if you look at it from that perspective and you see what happens elsewhere, or what happened elsewhere, then you can understand it. But of course, the results were quite shocking. Yeah.
But let's also look at your media journey and your media business and all that. Share your journey with us in media. You've come a long way.
Yes, I think I started with law and dropped law and went this way of media. Right. Okay. And practiced it in England, in Europe, and then came to Ghana, and then, of course, was editor-in-chief of The Statesman, which was quite an interesting job because I turned into a daily newspaper which still couldn't pay the bills. So you have to work elsewhere, but still run a newspaper. And then, of course, now we have Asase. I don't even know why I put that burden on myself.
What do you mean?
but it's the where you are in the media space. It has changed. Yes. It has changed in the sense that because of the social media. Yeah. All right. And if you don't find a way to adapt, you may be lost completely because there are other ways through which companies can reach their audience. Yeah. So it's a very difficult space, and especially for starters. So, for starters like us, But I think we've done well over the last 5 years, But every month you have to find money to pay stuff. It's not easy.
Yeah, but social media is free for all. So even if you are into traditional media, you still can find ways to, maximize what you are doing on social media.
Yes, you can do so. And I think also, we didn't start organically because you were coming in new. So you wanted to basically come with a bang and then find a way to grow from there. And I think in that sense, we have presence in Central region, we have presence in Ashanti, in Northern region, and of course in Greater Accra, and then the Tree one. And I've noticed that actually the Tree ones also work pretty well. In terms of patronage. I see the English stations set the tone in terms of the narrative. Yeah. but the Chi ones make money from what you said. They don't
because they can tell the story better and add all the goodness and everything that comes with it. You know, you can't say too much, but it is what it is. And I don't know what that means to you in terms of who we are as a people receiving this, whatever information is being put out there. Because, you know, sometimes you sit back listening to Chi News and you ask yourself, like, really?
But the Chi News it's I mean, sometimes I think really they overdo it. You know, because there are certain ethical lines that you have to, because sometimes they exaggerate it, but it works. It works for their audience. But then, you know, if you're traditionalist in terms of journalism,
exactly,
just sit down and think, oh, really? You know? And because there's certain things they embellish which you find difficult, because this story, do you have to
tilts it to something?
But you know, it works. And at the end of the day, you give the audience what they want.
So it doesn't mean that we are people of drama, you know, Ghanaians in general.
I don't think it's just Ghana. It's everywhere.
Really?
It's everywhere, except, of course, you need to know what works wherever you are. I mean, look, whether you are in the US, whether you are in Europe, whether you're in Japan, tabloids, the tabloid newspapers, they make more money than sometimes the broadsheets, as they call them. Because the tabloids know how to. I mean, Sun, some people used to buy the Sun newspaper in the UK because page 3 had a woman, you know, exposing her
sensationalism
her big
and all
stuff,
that.
You know, because page 3 was, people buy the newspaper just because they want to see.
Page 3 inspired.
Yes. Page 3 had these women, you know, half naked. And that was, until I think recently they probably toned down. But that's what they wanted. So the Sun was the biggest newspaper, selling millions of copies because of that. So sensationalism sells wherever you go. But I think really now, because of the new media, and people don't have to, live programs, people don't really watch or listen to much, but demand is demand driven. They can go back on social media and watch something that they missed. You know, so it's really how and then of course you may take your time to do all the research and get the substance out, and then somebody, a blogger, you know, maybe just having some iPhone, will make the news out of it.
Exactly.
But you've done,
and sometimes come to take excerpts from you.
No, you have done all the research. You have spent all the money, all the resources to get the content. And then they pick the bit that's sensational, and then they'll be showing it with their little photo at the bottom.
Even credit
they haven't done anything.
Nothing. They sit at home, you know, and have content.
And some of them, they just have the content there with their video, which is like they are the ones sharing it.
Right.
But you don't get
nothing out of it. So
anything out.
Now, observing all these, how should we position ourselves, you know, as traditional media houses?
That's a good question. I think perhaps maybe we should sack all our stuff and also just get someone with a phone.
Somebody needs to do the right thing, you know. Somebody has to do it.
Yeah, because so we are thinking, should we also have bloggers or vloggers? Is that where we should also go? To? Maybe that's where we should go.
Yeah.
You know, because that's all they do. They just have, you know, the camera,
a tripod and the phone and power bank and charger.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, and then the content, there's not much. And now it's even just a video of people. And you know, a lot of people, prominent people, actually go around with their own person with a tripod or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Okay, taking videos and then posting it.
Exactly.
You know, it's as if substance is lost.
It's gone. But the people like
nobody has time for substance.
No. So where is this leading us?
You know, you have this, if like we are bombarded with a lot of information, and also now because of AI, you're not so sure what is real and what is unreal. Because now I see a video and I'm asking, is it real?
It's so scary.
It is scary. And you know, And it's easy to actually destroy people.
Exactly.
By just creating this AI image. And now if you do something that is even embarrassing, you can come out and say, it's not me.
AI.
It's AI.
Yeah, I mean, that's the good about that. Exactly, the positive aspect of that. But as you rightly mentioned, in a space where we are not able to regulate, what goes on social media, what do we do?
What do we do? I think, first of all, technology is always ahead of regulation.
Yeah.
I think we need to bear in mind. And I think there's, and we are getting there, where there's some sort of self-regulation, not with those who put out the content, but with those who receive the content.
Right.
Because you look at it and say, oh, this maybe just for laughs.
Yeah.
So I think that's really happening. And, if you get into the area of regulation, if we are not careful, then you stifle also freedom of speech. So it's really, but it doesn't mean that freedom of speech means that you can get away with whatever you want to. Because now they put something on social media or on a website about you. It can destroy you because it stays there.
Yes.
And people Google, you're trying to do some business elsewhere, they Google and say, oh,
this is what we are
Frema.
seeing. Yeah. In fact, that's my social media handle anyway. This is Frema.
This is Frema. But then maybe what they are seeing as Frema is not Frema.
Not correct.
But it's someone who's put it out there. And because it's sensational, it's been shared. So that becomes you.
Yeah.
And it's not actually you. And then when you try to correct it, it has not the same traction.
True.
Because it's not sensational.
Bad news sells, So should we be suing? What should we be doing?
I think sometimes, and and I've even with me it happened. Sometimes you need to Darocha. You remember BJ Darocha? He said something to me some time back. He said he made a mistake and it cost him his freedom. There was some publication, I think, in front of Daily Graphic. This is early 70s, about some allegation. And he rubbished it. But when there was the coup, those who did the coup used that to put him in jail. He was detained for a few years.
Yeah.
Okay? And so for him, he said, look, whatever is said about me, I'll find a way to respond. But sometimes your response is what gives it traction.
Exactly.
So actually making that decision itself is difficult. But you look at it on a case-by-case basis. There are certain things I respond. There are certain things I even will go to court and sue. But because we do business internationally.
Yeah.
Maybe you're trying to raise money to do something because you're trying to do some project in some country. And then they will pull all the stuff that's said or written about you. Okay? Because they're doing due diligence on you.
Of course.
And you have to respond to every single one.
And that is when you are even asked to respond.
Yes.
Sometimes they do their own background checks.
Absolutely.
They won't come back to you again.
They take a decision based on that.
Yeah.
But of course, in some cases, then they will send a letter to you and say, oh, can you respond to all these things? And you have to respond. What did you do about this allegation that was made about you? And if you didn't do anything, then it creates the impression that
you validate it.
Absolutely. So it's a difficult
so if someone is thinking of going into the media business today, I mean, you have done it from print to electronic, and the money is not really coming in. Somebody wants to go in. What advice would you give them?
I have a son who will be 11 years old now. They call him my pension baby. And when he was 7, I asked him, what does he want to do? He said he wants to be a YouTuber.
Charlie, you see, this. I always say that, that people, you understand, they come in and the Ejamas are thinking of, I want to be a big lawyer. I want to be this. That Daba hasn't seen any hardship in life. So they want to be,
he wants to be a YouTuber.
What does that even mean?
And I didn't even know what that meant. And then, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? We have a family platform. I saw there's this guy who made money by saying nothing. What's his name?
Oh, yeah,
There's this guy,
I think it's Kenyan guy or American, that tall YouTuber.
Yes,
yeah.
he was unemployed.
Kali or something.
And they started making money. And apparently he has sold his company for 900 million.
Yes.
So I put it on the family platform and I said, Nanako, it looks like you knew what you were talking about.
Now, you saw I Show Speed was in Ghana.
Yes.
You know, and
apparently he just does crazy things. And you know, I didn't know about I Show Speed. But so I asked my son a few days ago, I said, oh, do you know I Show Speed? It is, he's 10. He said, yes, I do.
No, you're too old for that.
You know, and now that is what's happening. And they are making money.
Yes.
This guy probably makes about 6-7 million just jumping over cars and stuff like that.
Backflipping, you know, and eating jollof rice and traveling around.
Yes, I saw him sleeping in jollof rice. Was it Nigerian or Ghanaian jollof rice?
So he did a bit of jollof, I think, in Nigeria. He came to Ghana. We had a huge bowl of jollof rice for him. He actually backflipped into the jollof rice in Ghana.
And ate some.
And ate some, yes. And everybody is following him.
And,
you know?
And I was told that he said Nigerian jollof is better than Ghanaian
that,
jollof.
You know, we can pardon him for he knows not what he's saying.
I assume that what he ate in Nigeria was cooked by a Ghanaian.
You are right. You could be right.
And you know, we have a lot of Nigerians in Ghana.
So we swap places. You understand?
I suspect when you go to the kitchen, there was a Nigerian in
when I deal with Nigerians, hi Nigerians, Nigeria they carry last, you know. Yeah, but so this is what is going on. So somebody deciding to go into media now, you think it's still a viable business to venture into?
But I think that because you've all done it.
Yeah.
In a sense that the traditional media is going new media.
Exactly.
You know, so I think really, if you don't have, unless you want to do it as charity, but if you want to commercialize it, you need to take advantage of technology, go where the world is going. But really to do what we did, which is that you set up a radio or TV station with all the equipment. And I was talking to some man the other day. He said, he's found some portable equipment, which is better than now going to put up this whole big thing. So things have changed. You know, and I think really is understanding the space, which is that it is not the same, and having a commercial eye for the new media and how you can get into that space.
Exactly.
But not necessarily abandoning content, the research aspect, because at the end of the day, quality still sells.
Of course.
You know, quality still sells. And I admire what you do at ChannelOne.
Thank you.
Long may you live.
Thank you very much. And the interesting thing is people will go on social media to check what is happening, but will still come to traditional media to authenticate it.
Absolutely.
You know?
And even if it's on social media and it has your tag, they take it seriously.
Absolutely. You know, so this is the Upside Down Show. My guest in the studio is Gabby Asare Otchere-Darko. We take a short break here. When we come back, Gabby will be talking about Africa Prosperity Network. Don't go away. You're welcome back. This is the Upside Down Show. I'm Frema Adunyame. My guest in the studio is Gabby Asare-Darko. Now we've been talking about, you know, media business and media practice in general. We've also been finding out how busy he's been of late. He's been setting up legal businesses all over the continent. And that is Gabby for you. And don't forget that he supports Arsenal, you know. And, well, we'll see. We like watching football together as well. Anyway, so...
do you have a problem with me supporting Arsenal?
I'm not sure what your inspiration is in supporting Arsenal.
You know, fortunately for me, my son, the youngest, supports Arsenal. The big one also used to support Leicester. You know, don't ask me why. But he's also Arsenal. And you know, I keep telling my daughters, one is Chelsea and one is Arsenal, that if you have to find a boyfriend, get an Arsenal supporter. Because the thing is, we are extremely loyal. In sickness or in health.
That I agree.
In defeat or in victory.
That I agree. Have you heard Kofi Kinata's song? You know, I think it's Broken Heart or something. He says, in fact, okay, so he says, and at some point he says that In fact, may an Arsenal fan, it means broken heart. You know, because if you're an Arsenal fan, you can't be afraid of broken heart because that's what they serve all the time. So loyalty, I'll give it to you guys. Yes, 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 yes. Anyway,
I saw a for a couple days ago. I think actually, when we lost to Man U, he said, "Well, it started again." I said, "Well, we're used to it."
He supports Arsenal?
No, of course not. No, he's Tottenham. And, but the fact that we psych ourselves up and then we come back down.
I don't know how you guys do it.
So we are not even celebrating where we are. We'll wait till the season is over. And then
well, of course. You know, certain people and their football teams and the way they do their things, you don't get too surprised, you know.
No. Let me ask you a question. Why is your program called Upside Down?
It is upside down because we do anything and everything, you know, it doesn't have to follow the usual structure, the usual way of doing things. So for instance, we have Gabby here. I mean, normally we'll be talking maybe politics, maybe legal, strictly legal stuff. But here we are talking about football, you know. So we
How did you get into the media space?
Oh, now you're practicing media with me, so now you're telling things upside down, huh? I get that. I know, so that's upside down for you, you understand. Yeah. But interestingly, I've always wanted to be in the media.
Okay.
When I was in class 3, I just watched GTV. I used to watch Barbara Sam at that time.
Okay, she inspired you?
Yeah, she inspired me.
Okay,
so I wanted to be that.
Okay.
Now, back to Africa Prosperity Network.
All right.
Tell us about that. What is it supposed to do? You know, what is African Prosperity Network?
Well, essentially, I think the name itself tells you that we want to focus on prosperity rather than alleviating poverty. Okay, right?
Yes.
But I think what we've done so far is we've set up a network of businesses, thought leaders, that are engaged in how we get the continent going.
Right.
And then we've come to the understanding that the best way to transform our continent and create an Africa of shared prosperity is if we integrate our various economies. There are 54, 55. UN may say 54 countries in Africa. AU may say 55. UN 54, AU 55.
Yeah.
Whether it's 54 or 55, what it is that we cannot get to where we want to get to. And with the acceleration that is required, if we go fragmented with the economies that we have. Was it a couple of days ago, I'm sure you heard the news, the EU and India have formed a free trade area or agreement of about 2 billion or so people. Because India alone is a similar size of Africa, 1.5 billion or thereabout. Why they take India seriously is because it's huge and it's a single market. China is taken seriously because it's huge and it's a single market. And you can even have the EU model where they are independent states, okay? But there's free movement of people, goods, and services. And of course, ideas, capital, innovation, whatever it is. But it's a single market. And we agreed back in Abuja in 1991 that we'll create an economic community of Africa. It's taken us, 34 or so, or 35 years, and this is where we are. And by 2018, they came up with this agreement, which is called the African Continental Free Trade Area. And a couple of months before that, they came up with a protocol for free movement of people across the continent. If you put these two together, and we are able to implement them with the speed, with the depth that is required, it is the best and perhaps surefire way of creating an Africa that can create jobs and other opportunities for the young people of the continent. And so we then decided that let's set up Africa Prosperity Network and let it be private sector driven. And with that, we create platforms, and the biggest is the Africa Prosperity Dialogues, which happens every year, the beginning of each year here in Ghana. So we set up a platform where we can get business leaders, the political leaders, the thought leaders, institutional leaders, and the private sector players themselves to come together, think together, plan together on how we can build that single market. Okay? And we have...
So who is the we?
The we of Africans in general.
Okay.
Because...
But who is spearheading it? Yourself?
Yes, but you know, there are institutions that are set up to push the agenda.
Okay.
The key, clear one is the African Continental Free Trade Secretariat.
After?
That has the mandate from the African Union, from the heads of states, to push that agenda. But we also feel that for this to work, it must be owned and driven by the private sector. Okay? So the supporting role that we're playing is that we will create platforms where we bring these players together, okay, and get them to interact. So currently, I think we have about 16,000, maybe, about 16,000, a network of 16,000 businesses, and it's growing. So we bring in businesses together and to see how they can interact, how they can collaborate, how they can build supply chains or that sort of value chains across the continent. And we've noticed that even when we have these dialogues, okay, they find businesses across the continent. To give you a typical example, for Africa Prosperity Dialogues 2026, when I checked this morning, participation was 5,000, I think 5,500 or so.
Okay. So these are businesses coming to be part of it?
Yes. And we expect by the time we get there...
Which is Tuesday, on the 4th.
Okay, so, no, we're over 6,000. Okay. Yeah, we're over 6,000. Today is Sunday.
Yes.
And by the time we get there, we expect by Wednesday, we expect that maybe about 6,500. But whatever it is, because the last 2 weeks we've seen that people are just signing up. And when we check the countries that they are coming from, there are 104 countries, which means beyond the 54, 55 countries in Africa. There's interest from Turkey, there's interest from Australia, from the US, from UK, from everywhere. And what's interesting is that we even have the data of the nationalities. So it's not the same, because you can have Ghanaians coming in from the US. The nationalities of those coming, I think we have 95 nationalities from people registered from 105, 4 countries. Okay. You know, all coming to Ghana. Of course, you have majority of people being Ghanaian companies as well. And the theme is empowering SMEs, women and youth in the single market. Collaborate, innovate, trade. Okay. Now the idea is that if the single market is to work, it must be inclusive.
Exactly.
And for a continent where 80% of employments are created within the SME sector, for a continent where 90% of businesses are within the SME sector, for a continent where I think 83% or so of our GDP is within this sector, if you're going to build a single market, then you must engage them, they must own and drive it. And you know, I think about 33% of SMEs are owned by women. Yes. And we have a lot of women within the informal sector. A lot. How do we scale them up? How do we empower them? Which is something we haven't been able to do very well. Absolutely. And you know, what actually also happens is that because of technology, if you remember, back in 2024, the AU came up with the AFCFTA digital trade protocol, which if implemented will push us up in terms of the fourth industrial revolution, which is about digital trade. Yeah. And what it means is that what we are seeing with digital trade is that even those within the informal sector are being included.
Yeah.
Because they now can bank without actually going to a traditional
Exactly.
bank. They now can trade, can buy and sell using just their mobile money wallet.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really possible if the rules and regulations and treaties and protocols are implemented, it can empower SMEs, the informal sector, the women, the youth, to actually access this bigger market, which is of 1.5 billion people. That's the size of the consumer market on the continent. 1.5 billion people. So if we get a single market working, then you will have companies setting up on the continent because they know that they are not just looking at Ghana's 35 million market.
Exactly. They're going beyond.
Absolutely.
It's a continent issue.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, but then we are having a particular focus for APD 2026, which is taking place from Wednesday, the 4th of February to Friday, the 6th of February at the Accra International Conference Center.
Right.
We are saying that, look, over the years, our leaders, they meet at summits, they sign up to treaties, they adopt them, protocols, but they are slow in implementing them. And they need to implement them in order to unleash the entrepreneurial verve of the African people, particularly SMEs, women, and the youth. So what pressure can we bring to bear?
Right.
So we're using that platform to launch a movement. It is called Make Africa Borderless Now movement. Okay?
Make Africa borderless.
Now movement. Now, if you notice, across the continent, we see protests of young people. Why? Because of unemployment. And our economies don't have the capacity, okay, to employ these young people, educate the rest of it. But if we make it possible for them, or we make it possible for businesses to scale up and see this broad market of 1.5 billion as a market of theirs, so they can access the market. If we do so, then we can create the jobs or job opportunities.
But you know, how easy would this be, you know, to achieve this? Because you have cases where governments are protecting their markets, and so the bigger ones tend to bully the smaller ones because they feel they have the people, they have the space and what it takes. I don't know how easy this is going to be to create that borderless, you know,
so this is how we are looking at it. We are not saying that we are going to compel them to do something that they haven't thought about, something that they haven't signed up to. Okay? So we take the Abuja Treaty, for instance. The Abuja Treaty was signed in 1991. It said that within 34 years, and they said that in 1994, after they signed up in 1991, within 34 years, they'll have a custom union within Africa, which means that there'll be no tariffs. You can go through your goods and services can go through the borders easily. They haven't implemented it, okay? And the 34 years ends in 2028, 2 years away. So you signed up. So we are now saying that, look, you've signed up to it, implement it, okay? In 2016, they then launched the African passport, AU passport, okay? Where is the AU passport? I happen to have a British passport next to my Ghanaian passport. Once I leave ECOWAS, the British passport takes me further across Africa than my Ghanaian passport. I can get to more places in Africa without a visa with my British passport than my Ghanaian passport. Why is that the case? When they are actually adding more layers to their walls to stop us from entering Europe, to stop us from entering the US, okay? You know, I mean, I notice US is very icy now. Apart from the weather, there's also ice chasing people.
Extremely icy, you know, extremely icy.
Not just the weather, but they are taking people out of it.
People can't even go out and it's not a snow.
Absolutely. It's not just the snow, because they are afraid to be arrested and sent back. You know, so if that's the case, then why should we also allow these borders that they created for us? When they met in Berlin in 1884, 1885, Because when you look at it, over 90% of the borders that we protect these days, with all our sovereignty, were created by the colonial powers between 1884 and I think 2024, 1924. They created, and then we are protecting them as if our destiny depends on it. But it is what is arresting our destiny. Because we are protecting things that don't allow us to unleash all the opportunities that are there for us, especially for the youth. So we're saying that we will launch this campaign and we are seeking to amass 10 million signatures within 12 months.
Right.
And then present that to our leaders when they meet in Addis Ababa in February 2027 and say that, look, the African people, particularly the youth, they are saying that these are the things that you've signed up to. We want free visa traveling across Africa. We want to be able to purchase, buy and sell across borders using just our mobile money wallet. Because if I'm a fashion designer and I put something on Instagram, I want to make sure that someone in Kenya, if they want to buy, they can just use their mobile money wallet, buy with their shillings, and then I receive it in my CD.
Easily.
Okay? So you can imagine how that can create opportunities for this 1.5 billion consumer market. And beyond that, once we create that demand and there's a supply within our continent, it gives the incentives for investors to invest in the transport and logistics that are required to make sure that the things get to the buyer, from the seller to the buyer.
How old is APN and how long has the APD been going on?
APN has been on since 2022.
Right.
We had the retreat at Rock City with that's APN and AFCFTA, and then we had some people from the presidency. At the time we had Kore Suman and Asante Bediatu. They came, and then we had Wamkele Mene and his staff.
Right.
And then we then thought about how to create this platform. And then we have created it. First one was supposed to be in October, but was shifted to January 2023. So this will be the fourth one.
Okay.
And it's an annual event. And essentially, so we will have about 12 items that will be part of this year-long campaign. And we believe that if we can gather the 10 million signatures, fortunately for us, President John Mahama is expected to be the chairperson of the AU.
Okay, yeah.
Then, okay? So we are quite positive that he will warmly receive the petition, and then we will mount the pressure from at least 10 million voices to say that implement these things.
You know, so last year with the dialogue, I was very excited to see the new government, you know, get involved. I saw the president, you know, joining. And I told myself, you know, for once, I'm seeing something that we are not doing NPP, NDC, NPP. I mean, this is a national call that will benefit Ghana if we position ourselves properly to take advantage of this. How should we, as a nation, position ourselves? We are described as the gateway to Africa. I don't know if we still are, but how do we champion this? This is Ghanaian, you know, inspired. How do we move on and take advantage of it?
Absolutely. The gateway is good, but then they can come through the gate and then go elsewhere.
You know?
So I think Wamkele Mene described Ghana as a commercial center, capital of Africa. And he said that because the AFCFTA Secretariat is here. Okay, so it also makes tragic sense for us to host the dialogues that bring together, you know, private sector, public sector. So it made sense that way. And fortunately, we enjoy the patronage of the president and the presidency. And that has continued because the presidency is an institution. And we're also glad that President John Mahama looked beyond Gabby's face. Okay, and what people don't know is that I was actually engaging him and Dr. Bawumia. Okay, before the 2024 elections.
Oh, really?
Because I knew that one of them would end up being president.
Of course.
And I wanted assurances that this will continue because it's for Ghana. It's not for any political party. And fortunately for us, John Mahama himself considers himself as a big Pan-Africanist. You know, so it was quite easy to do so. But we needed to be careful. But it has worked. Where we, in fact, even this morning, I had a conversation with the Deputy Chief of Staff, who then informed us as to which presidents have confirmed coming. Wow. But they're still working on the protocol aspect. So I think we are getting the support that is required. And mind you, we calculate that the 3 days that we have the event here, because people come in to spend 3 to 5 days, some even a week, okay? In terms of those who have to get visas to come, okay, we have an arrangement with immigration that they give them 50% discount. I'm not too sure if we'll be able to conclude it this year, but that's been the tradition. Right. But they buy visas. Yeah. Okay, they pay visa fees to come. When they get to the airport, they pay airport tax. Exactly. They stay in hotels. They go to our restaurants. They go shopping. They take taxis. Yeah. When we calculate it, for those few days that people are here, Ghana earns in excess of $10 million.
The recognition.
Absolutely. Okay, and then some even call it that some people actually think we are creating our own Davos in Africa. Because what it is that, and I'm sure you've seen images of what happens in Davos. We go there, but then we are marginalized. Because when you see the conversations about Africa, it's in some little poxy room somewhere. And you get me? We are not on the big stage. You know, and of course, why should we be? Because we are not the agenda. You know, so let's create our own agenda, set our own priorities, and make sure that we can mobilize the private sector players, those who will make this single market work. Let them work together. Let them collaborate. Let them find ways in seeing how they can leverage on each other's expertise, business network, and value chains, and then we build a single market. If we don't do so, we're not going anywhere. But we have the opportunity now, to make sure that the Africa we want, the so-called Agenda 2063, we're not going to wait till 2063. No. And if we're going to get to 2063, it means that by the time we get there, you know, I'm not too sure you'll be there in 2063. I'm not too sure. Would you want to be there in 2063? How old would you be? You don't have to tell me, but I'm sure you'll be over 90.
20, yeah, but 90, I mean.
Yeah, 100. You'll be over 100. I'm sure.
100 guys walking around, you know.
Okay, but whatever it is, Agenda 2063. Let's implement it now. Let's put the impetus that it requires now, because if we don't, within the first decade of this AFCFTA, if the African people cannot feel its relevance to their day-to-day life, it will die off.
Exactly. So I was going to ask you the future of APN, you know, so we are trying to bring in or also think about the informal sector. We are trying to think about all levels of businesses and all. AFTA trying to do it, AU trying to do one thing or the other. It looks like a lot of the things that they've spoken about still on paper, waiting for implementation. What does the future look like for APN?
I think for APN, what we want is to have an impact. We want the things that we talk about all the time, we want them realized. So for instance, we were part of the campaign for continent-wide mobile money interoperability. We managed for it to become an item at the 6th AU Mid-Year Summit coordination meeting. And they gave themselves, they said by 2027, they endorsed a report which said by 2027, we should implement continent-wide mobile money interoperability. And this came from an APN dialogue. And then after that, there was a symposium of all the players. We brought in the telcos, Safaricom, MTN, Vodafone, Telus, all of them, and the regulators and the central banks. Okay? And we gave ourselves 2027. But the most important thing is that you need the policymakers to adopt it. And that report was accepted. It was presented by the Ghanaian president at the mid-year summit in 2024, and it was accepted. Now, the pressure that we need to bring to bear is that you said 2027. Let's implement it, because the only thing that stops it is not the technology.
Right.
Okay? It is the political will, the political courage to implement it. And that's why we think that Pan-Africanism, as we all know it, over the last 100 years and beyond, has been, to a point, a pastime of the elite. The intellectual elite, the political elite, you know, they talk about Pan-Africanism. It's never been owned by the people of the continent. But we are saying to them that own it.
Right.
Because the way to realize this Pan-African dream is through unification. And that unification, the easiest route is through economic integration.
Absolutely.
So you, the people, is meant to benefit you. Own it, drive it, demand it.
Yeah.
And you are not demanding something that is new to them. You are demanding something that they have adopted, signed up to, but they have not had the courage to implement.
Yeah.
So push them and say, your promise, deliver. It's a manifesto that you have,
exactly.
you have signed
and
up
pushing
to.
them to do, we shall. You know. Gabby, how do you relax? You know, you are too busy. So you are doing law, you are doing now APM, APD is around the corner. How do you relax? What do you do?
Unfortunately, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't like parties.
So what do you do?
What do I do? That's a very good question. I spend time with my family.
Okay.
I have a few friends. Including Samens. Yes. How unfortunate he is.
Yes, no partner. You love listening to music?
I do.
What do you listen to?
I listen to reggae.
Okay.
I listen to jazz. I listen to...
Listen to high life?
The old ones.
Like,
the very old ones.
Like which ones?
Like Ramblers and stuff. I prefer them.
Oh, it's very, very old. But I mean,
and young... I listen to the old soul.
Okay.
But I can dance. I can dance to the others. That I can dance to.
Which ones?
Yeah, you know them. You know, the Shatters, the Stone Boys, the Sarkodiers.
Really? So which Shatter song do you know?
Shattawale.
You know, taking over with the show, guy.
Yeah, I know that.
Which Stone Boy song do you listen to?
Oh, plenty. Like, I believe in Africa.
Okay.
I believe in Africa. Africa.
No, Africa is really on your heart. I got Africa is really on your heart. And Sak, do you listen to gospel, Ghanaian gospel?
Gospel? I do. I do, but sometimes I do.
You have favorites?
But
the Daughters of Glorious Jesus, the Tego Sisters. Not too sure.
Not so sure. But yes, I do. I do listen to them. They can be nourishing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they can be nourishing.
Put you in the mood.
But I do listen to music, but I like actually background music.
Okay.
Like I'm reading and there's some background music, that kind of thing. But I love my reggae. I love my jazz. Okay. Especially the female singers.
Okay.
I love them.
Your favorites?
My favorites, I like Diane Reeves.
Okay.
I like Nina Simone. I like who else? Especially the very old ones. Right. I think I was born in a different generation.
It looks like, you know.
And the interesting thing is my kids can sing to them because they've been...
That's what Daddy is serving them, so we don't have a choice now. So you have to like it. And the reggae?
Reggae, of course. The ones I even like, you may not even have heard of them.
I'm sure.
Well, of course, Altonellis, old names.
Okay.
Old names like Who else? Kokoti.
Okay.
There's some names you may not even have heard of.
Well, I'm sure maybe the next time.
Dennis Brown, of course, you've heard of Dennis Brown. Yeah.
I think we need a session, you know, on that reggae and stuff. And then, what's your favorite local Ghanaian food?
I can eat banku. You know, I'm a pescatarian.
What does that mean?
It means that I remember I said it to someone. I said, "Oh, is that your church?"
Maybe you're not Presby, not yet.
It means I eat seafood, you know, fish, stuff like that. I was a vegan in the 80s.
You were?
Yes, I was a
Is
vegan.
that why you look the way you do?
I was a vegan in the 80s, and I became a vegetarian in the early 90s.
Okay.
And then I now added fish and seafood. So
you
for the
do
last...
red meat?
I don't do red meat.
Okay.
I don't do chicken. I don't do any of those. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so I haven't touched meat since the 80s.
So you prepared the meat and the chicken for us to eat, and you did not eat some.
No.
But that's not fair. You should have told us when we all ate the fried yam.
But you saw me eating the fried yam. So.
Yes, I did. But in my mind, you add meat to it, you know. But it was very good. If you didn't eat that, it was very, very good. But well, so Gabby, we can go on and on and on and on, you know, but just quickly before you go, the APN is happening, APD is happening on Tuesday to Friday. Wednesday to Friday. Wednesday to
and
Friday.
And then we have the Africa Prosperity Champions Awards and Presidential Gala Dinner.
Right.
That same Friday evening at Kempinski.
Okay.
But that one, you have to buy tickets.
Oh, okay. Okay, but where do we get the tickets? Is it for everybody?
If you go online,
right.
AfricaProsperityNetwork.com.
Okay.
You can get your tickets. That's if there's some available. Yeah.
Charlie, I doubt, but you can try. So we probably might meet at Kempinski, you know, but before then, let's go and listen to the dialogue.
Accra International Conference.
Exactly. I think AICC. Ghana is for us. Africa is for us. It's about time that we take charge. You know, nobody's going to build it for us. Africans must build Africa, right? Ghanaians must build Ghana. Gabby, thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Frema.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Are we supposed to dance?
Yeah, we can dance. This is upside down, of course.
I'm supposed to.
Yeah. This is you're dancing jazz with.
Are you happy? Am I doing it
more than happy? Yeah, you are doing it well. But, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Gabby, thank you very much. You know, so this has been the Upside Down Show. My guest, Gabby Asare-Darko. Now, I'm sure that when you hear the name, you know him much more. And of course, you also know what he's been doing lately. And this is how we can all contribute in building our nation and building our continent. Thank you very much for being my guest, Gabby. Thank you very much. I'm Frema Adunyame. See you next time.